Oh, Kratos, Potter, oh, Kratos, Potter, oh, Kratos, Potter. Boy,
Yeah, Daddy.
shoot that thing over there.
No, I can't. It's too far away.
You know you have a bow.
I know, but Daddy, I have a question.
What now?
Daddy,
What?
where were you when I was growing up?
I have godly things to do. Over there. The gods need me. I have to go.
Sorry, Athena's calling.
Ring. Yes, Zeus.
Yes, Zeus. Oh, it's me,
Hi.
Kratos.
Kratos, I gotta do an episode of some podcast. I gotta go.
Hi, everyone. Welcome
What's
to
up?
another fun episode of Fan
Another
Fiction.
Another one. Episode 7.6.
7.63.
Oh, 3.
Because,
And for all the Patreon, Twitter users, Instagram, all them, they get 7.7.
ooh,
Which is where we don't mess it up.
That's the shiny one.
That is.
That's the real shiny
You
one.
even get a little art booklet.
Hey, everyone. Welcome back. Like I said, as you can probably tell from that beautifully scripted intro that
Oh,
me and Mac
absolutely.
worked on numerous times.
At least more than 10
At
seconds.
least 3 times we worked on that intro. We are going to be talking about the God of War series tonight. And for the first time, I have a quiz for Matt.
Oh, my
That's right. I
goodness.
challenge your mental knowledge
I
about
hope
this game.
so.
I'm really excited about it.
I am not, because I feel like I'm not going to do that hot.
So,
Because it's been forever.
you're great. You're super smart.
Just stop.
So Matt, let's really quick. Let's talk about our history. with
let's
the
start
god,
with the beginning.
the god murderer himself, Kratos.
Well, my history of the god murderer himself, the Ashen Ghost of Sparta. That's a real title.
Oh, that's Kratos.
Yeah, that's
Oh,
Kratos.
okay, yeah.
Early Kratos. Before
Early
he,
Kratos,
Before
like-
he got more ripped. And,
Like
you know.
hipster college Kratos,
Right.
though,
Not like dead in his eyes father.
where instead of flames, he just like kick hacky sacks at people.
Correct, yeah.
Flaming hacky
Come
sacks.
on. I have anger.
It's just at his parents and his like student debt. that's where all of his rage comes in. He throws out bills and
Well, actually, the first draft, I don't know if you know this, or a lot of people actually don't. When they were actually making the game, they originally had the ashes of his fallen family cover his flesh in the actual beginning before all
Are
that.
you being serious? Or
I'm serious.
Is there a joke at the end of this?
No, 'cause,
I'm
like,
invested in this story.
They
now.
actually were going to make a college Kratos, and
Oh,
instead
God.
of ashes of his family, it was going to be all of his bills and debts tackled onto his skin
It's
and
just-
inked.
It's just pieces of paper,
Right,
just
and
like
numbers
post-it
and
notes and-
signatures and like deadlines, and it was going to enrage him. And when he raged up, they'd all flare up.
instead of Mount Olympus, it's the accounting department of his local community college.
Actually, that's going to leeway right
And
into how I'm
the
going to fix
gods
the
are
game.
like
Yeah.
his teachers, like 101 level classes. I like it. That's hi everyone, welcome to Fan Fiction.
Back to the topic. No, but yeah. So Dan, let's start with you. Where's your beginnings with these games?
I have a very complicated history with God of
Oh
War.
my! Show us on the booklet here where it touched you.
Ooh, all over the place.
Oh, speaking of that,
Oh.
let's segue into warnings here. We will be talking
yes,
about.
Thank you.
We will be talking about some graphic things because all the God of War games, as you know, are rated G for Greek.
Yep, G for
And Greeks are very known for lots of fleshy skins and lots of violence.
There it is.
If you've never read a Greek story, do so.
A lot of gore. So I just want to say, if you have a little bit of an upset tummy or a little bit sensitive to this kind of stuff, we're going to talk about it all. And we're going to leave out certain things.
Right.
We're a mostly family show. But mostly the gore is going to be the big element that we're going to be talking about here tonight.
Probably, yeah.
So my complicated history. I wasn't the biggest fan of playing God of War 1, 2, 3.
Really?
Yeah. So I'm not a big button masher fan.
Oh, I see why that would be.
I have a big issue with like being repetitive and like I just get it triggers my anxiety really, really high when I'm just like constantly smashing the same things over and over again. And also, this game lives in infamy in my soul because, and I'm going to give you a specific example. At some point, Kratos is fighting the Minotaur in the Labyrinth.
Ah.
Do you remember this? And everyone who's played the game, and it
I
was,
do recall that.
It was the first time that I had ever run into a quick time event.
quick time events. Yeah.
Quick time event where it's all of a sudden it's like, hit triangle, hit square.
Are you paying attention? Hit the circle button.
And so it was one of the first games that I have ever played on my brand new PlayStation 2.
Fun fact, Daniel. Also the same place where Netflix got their idea for the "Are you still watching" button.
Fun fact. I'm glad you interrupted my story with that banger of a zinger. So thanks for that.
We'll fix it in post.
We'll fix it in post. We'll add a laugh track. Well, Big Bang Theory.
Can I at least get the clapping laugh track too?
Or just a slow clap. Just beautifully done. And so I'm playing it and I don't know the buttons at all. And so I'm dying. I'm dying because as I've said before, I've said 1,000 times, I love video games. I'm bad at them.
I wouldn't say you're bad. You're just
below basic.
You're very mediocre.
I'm below basic. I know where I exist.
Yeah.
And so let's wrap this whole thing up before Matt interrupts me again. I love you.
No, I got it.
It was the first time that I died and the death screen said, hey, buddy, this seems a little hard for you. Do you want to try it on an easier setting? Oh, Matt, I lost all of my nerve.
No, I get it. It's a very enraging moment.
Mad. I was like, well, this game is dead to me. This franchise will go nowhere. And then here we are, like 20 years later, talking about how great it is. Yeah.
3 or 4 different expansions on different other things.
But this is one of those games that, like, after I decided it just isn't the game for me, I would go over to Matt's house and I would just watch him play for hours. I don't need to play this game to enjoy it. I will watch people play this game and just eat popcorn. This is a movie to me.
Right, because the story's so good in it. Like, it's like you could even skip the action and the story alone is just awesome.
But even like every death has its own mini scene. Like, you know, the dialogue was great. The story was great.
And you can tell somebody really was into Greek mythology and all that. Yeah. And like they really did their homework on some of this stuff.
So for 1, 2, and 3, I played here and there. The puzzles were okay.
Right.
Very
very Resident Evil-y,
Zelda-ish, you know, that kind of stuff.
Right.
Nothing that's really breaking
the block and push the button.
Exactly.
Look in the hole.
But once the new God of War came out, I will fight people. I think that is the greatest game I have ever played.
Whoa.
Hands down. I mean, that game is non-stop perfection.
It is pretty non-stop awesome.
I mean, I can't think of one fault. As much as we call ourselves fan fiction and what we would fix, I would say perfect.
I would beg to disagree almost.
Okay, well that's the point of the show.
There is one thing I would fix.
Oh my god, is it what I think it's going to be?
I don't know. What do you think?
Are you going to say there needs to be another snake?
No, I was going to say more male nipple.
Oh, okay. The other thing you always complain about, not enough male nipple representation.
Not enough male nipple representation. I'm tired of just quarters and nickels. Show me some dimes.
I get you. And the second, I remember playing or watching Matt play the game, and the second he had Kratos put on a full plate of armor,
Outrage.
Matt just almost threw the controller out the window.
I went to go toss. I stopped, and I just sat it down.
Matt, you're a grown adult, okay?
I had to go.
I cannot throw another controller out the window
I walked out my front
video
door.
game's nipple representation.
I looked up in the sky. I just had that moment like, this is it. This is where you become an adult.
And I know we've mentioned Batman before, but he will not see the new Batman because he found out it's another suit that doesn't even have bat nipples.
I know, right? Come on. Why are they so against it?
I know. I think this is the most time we've said nipples in a show.
I think you're right.
Episode 7. It's a real doozer. All right. Do we talk about your history with the game?
Real quick. Yeah, my history is pretty much I've played since they dropped back in the early 2000s.
Do you revisit them at all?
You know, not so much.
I know they just did but there was a remaster release of at least 3.
Well, lucky for me, my PlayStation 2 still works pretty well, and I still have all 3 of them. But like, you know, from time to time, if I get bored, I will. Because it's still fun to go back and use like the alternate costumes, like the milk jug one where he's wearing the cow suit, or like the lawyer one.
I completely forgot that there were alt costumes.
Remember you had like the briefcases?
I completely forgot that they did that.
Yeah.
Oh, that's cute.
The fish hooks.
That's
actually
fun.
The fish hook one was probably my favorite. Each suit did something different. Like I think the fish one was all about extra mana or infinite mana.
Sure,
or
I'm sure each
or mana, however you want to say it. But occasionally I'll go back, but no, the 4th one really. Like after that, I've just been waiting for the next one to drop. That's pretty much it.
So it's one of those rare games that if I play 2 seconds, I'm playing for 40 hours.
In for a penny, in for a pound.
There's no, like, I have to, like, hide it behind all my other games, because if I even put it in for a second,
No, it is definitely one of those like time sucking games
Oh,
where it's like
and it's-
you just get trapped. It's so good.
And we haven't even talked about the story yet. Like
No.
we've just basically talked about our history. But before we do,
Yes.
Matthew,
Yes.
I have a quiz.
Oh no.
I'm so excited about this.
Hold on, I gotta pray to Athena.
Okay.
Okay, I'm done.
So that was quick. real heart to heart.
I got her on speed dial.
You have to use a phone to pray to people?
I do.
Oh, you freaking millennial.
Oh.
Here we go. So here is the quiz that I submit to you. Ready?
I am ready.
I am going to read a description of the god or Greek character's death by the hands of Kratos.
Ooh.
And then you have to tell me which god it is.
Okay.
You think you got this?
I think I could get
How confident are you right now?
Not very. It's been a long time.
Okay, here we go. I'm going to start with an easy one.
Okay.
Right off the bat.
Yes.
This character who turns out to be a little nuttier than we have heard in previous, kind of stories, decides to take on Kratos.
Oh.
And Kratos decides to, and I quote, rip off his wings, therefore making him plummet to his own death.
What is Nut, the Egyptian god of the sky?
100% correct.
Oh, I knew it.
Great. But that's also incorrect, so try again.
So maybe Icarus then?
Icarus, here we go.
From Marvel?
He's got one. It's Icarus actually from Super Smash Brothers.
Oh, that kid Icarus.
Yeah, or no, the one from the old TV show, the redheaded one.
Oh,
Like from
yeah.
who was the Captain Commander? Commander
Captain
Nintendo,
N.
Nintendo
I
Commander.
think it was Captain N, wasn't it?
Captain N.
Game Master.
Yeah, he
or
had the
something.
gun and he had the belts and the high school jacket.
So flashback, there used to be a card too.
Yeah. Hey guys, we're old. If you haven't
that
noticed,
kind of spoofed other video games.
it wasn't a
But
spoof. Mega Man was in that,
anyway.
right?
Yeah, well, yeah, they spoofed other video games because Mega Man was in it.
Was it a
the
spoof?
Metroid villain?
Were they making
They
fun
were
of?
making fun of them.
Oh, I remember. Oh,
There was a Castlevania dude they made fun of. Yeah,
I have to rewatch that show.
it was a really good show. Go look it up.
I'm gonna. Hey, you go look it up.
You go.
All right,
People
so
at home, go
Matt,
look it
you
up.
are 1 for 1. Congratulations. Next up, here we go. There's a little harder. They're gonna get a little
Okay.
harder. Okay.
Okay.
While this god is crawling on the ground, Kratos gouges out his eyes, snaps his neck, and then throws him off a mountain.
That could be a lot of them.
The big thing is, and I'm gonna give you little hints because I know these are. I mean,
Yeah.
because I doing my research for this, he snaps a lot of necks.
I was going to say,
that
not
man
only
is
that,
a
he
neck
also
snapping
he
fool.
also smash and pummels a lot of them.
Yeah,
too.
a lot of slashes,
a lot of
lots-
bare fist killing.
But the big thing is going to be the eye gouging
Hmm.
because it was a trigger event where he had to push L1 and R1, and you did it as you were like pushing in his eyes.
Oh.
Ugh.
I'm gonna say that.
I'll even give you the game if you need a hint.
Yeah, give me the game.
3, God of War
3.
3.
I'm gonna say that's probably Poseidon.
No, he's 2 for 2,
There we
ladies and
go.
gentlemen. 2 for 2. Stud
And
muffin.
that was a beautiful fight.
Matt
too.
McQueen. So long.
Oh, it was. That was
So
it was just
long.
so pretty.
And what a way to start the game.
Oh, I know.
That was like just knocking on the door. All right, here we go. Oh, and this, you got this one. I feel it. After walking toward this god's blinding light, Kratos stomps on the god's head a little bit, chats him up a little bit, and then proceeds to rip his head off.
Oh, that's Helios.
Helios, you
The
got
fun
it.
god.
And then we use that head as a weapon.
that is correct.
Because that's what I've learned from Kratos.
Look at this.
He just anything's a weapon if you rip it off.
I always
someone.
love that one because he does like the look at what I got, and people are like no.
Was that supposed to be like the Medusa of this game?
Kinda, yeah.
It was a little.
Kinda.
We already
Little
did
on the
that.
nose,
Oh,
yeah.
okay, a little on the nose because it's get him. Here we go. Here we go. Oh, hard one. Hard mode.
Okay, here we go.
Okay, and I'll give you as many clues as you need.
Mhm.
Axe to the chest,
Mhm.
axe to the side, axe to the shoulder, and then axe to the middle of the face.
I should know that.
Whenever you need a clue, I have a couple.
It's not Ganesh,
It's not Ganesh. Not this
Um,
one.
not the Laughing Buddha.
Mm-mm. What
Uh,
games have you played? Is there
You haven't played those?
Is there DLC?
Those are the spin-offs. Those are
like,
the PSP ones.
DLC that I just don't know.
He goes
about.
after all the Hindu.
just a real anti-Hindu DLC. Just goes on a
Coming
tangent.
for you, Kali Ma.
Here we go.
I need a hint.
Chest, side, shoulder, axe to the face.
Axe to the face.
The weapon he is using is an axe.
Oh no, I am stuck on Greek. Oh, the new one's Norse. There we go.
Ah.
Oh, why did I messed that up? But oh my god, which one gets axed?
I mean, he actually doesn't kill too many gods
I know, that's what I'm trying to think.
in the new one. Like, they really held. That's why I'm very excited about the next one.
It's not a Valkyrie.
Nope. I wouldn't put them as gods.
Is it Mimir?
It's not. The head that's on his belt half the
Yeah,
game?
Sure.
No. He just chops his head off.
Oh, that's why. Okay. I can't think of it.
Ooh. Come on. Okay. It's a boss fight
Yeah.
with his brother.
Oh, Magni and Modi.
Yeah. Which one is it? Ooh, which one is it, Smarty Pants?
Magni?
Yeah, you got it. Okay.
Yeah, okay.
With some extra clues, congratulations, Matt.
Yeah,
you are
I feel like I
3
didn't
for
earn that
3.
one, though.
I'm gonna give it to you. Because I'm a generous
Probably
god.
one of my favorite fights of all time in this
I wish he had to
series.
fight. Did he ever fight Dionysius? Like a drinking contest? Wouldn't that have been great?
That would have been pretty awesome. I don't think you do fight him.
I don't think so either.
I'd have to check the extracurricular games, but I'm pretty sure you don't.
The extracurricular
Well, yeah,
game?
because you have like Ghost of Sparta, and you also have like Ascension, and like some of those touch more on the Furies and like the 100-handed giants and some other like deeper Greek lore.
Okay.
But I don't know. I think you just run into it.
Matt,
don't
you're
you?
3 for 3. I only got 3 more.
Sweet.
I only got 3 more. God, you're good at this. I don't say enough nice things about you, Matt, but
stop.
like your brain,
It's full of useless.
it's just got
junk.
so much useless crap in it.
So much useless stuff.
Okay, here we go. This is a little. Okay, I think you got this one.
Okay.
After cutting off both of his legs, one at a time, of course, because why do
Ooh.
2 at once? Kratos watches this god turn into 1,000 disease-carrying flies.
Oh man, I am blanking on that.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
I thought the. Okay.
disease
Do you need a hint?
flies.
Do you need a hint?
No, I'm just. There's no way I'm gonna get that one. You're
Oh,
gonna
come
have
on. Let me hint you.
to- Okay, hit me.
Okay. We cut off his legs because we're using the things that they're wearing.
Oh, okay. That's got to be Hermes. then.
Yeah. I'm going to give you a 0.5 because I feel like I just fed you that one.
That one, the minute you said using his, equipment, yeah,
Yeah. So
that kind of gives it away.
you're 3.5 for 4.
Oh, I should have said Barry Allen.
No. Yeah, because
your flash boots.
because we all know the Flash's powers reside in his legs.
in case
and
anybody
not the
doesn't,
Speed
yeah.
Force. If we do a DC episode, I'm gonna rip you apart because of that sentence. Okay, I'm just gonna take you to the cleaners.
Newsflash, true believers. The Flash gets his Speed Force powers through his boots.
That's canon now.
Cannon.
Thanks, Joss Whedon. No,
Yeah.
we'll blame him for a lot of things, but not that. All right, 2 more.
Okay,
Already?
let's do it.
This one, after completing a task for this god, Kratos jabs his hand upon an electric outlet thing, slowly electrocuting him until a gear is released, stabbing the giant with a giant anvil through his chest.
Well, the minute you said anvil, it's got to be Hephaestus.
Dang it. I went back and forth on saying anvil.
Yeah, because that's the thing. He does impale him with his anvil.
I know.
However, there's only one god that really works with an anvil, so
I know. And you're
For all you Greek busters out there.
Greek busters.
I don't know.
I like it.
I got myth busters in Greek, but yeah.
You did
Greek
great.
myth.
You did great.
I'll go back to the drawing
We're
board
not
one.
going to fix it in post. It's staying in. It's done. Moving on.
Check it.
All right. Last one, Matt.
Mm-hmm.
You almost got a perfect game, except for the 0.5. Ready?
Correct.
After multiple stab wounds into the neck and hits across the belly, Kratos wraps his chains around his neck, loops them to a hook in the ceiling, and then proceeds to pull him up and bash him into the ceiling.
Describe the area
At
where
first.
Oh.
And then,
Oh,
for the
dramatic
second part, I was waiting for it. I was really excited for it. And then, when the character comes back,
Oh, wait, there's more.
you crawl up his back, latch your weapon into his already pre-fractured skull. Pre-fractured skull. I didn't think I was going to say that phrase today, but
That is an interesting sentence.
you latch your weapon into his pre-fractured skull
Hmm.
and smash it into the ground until you rip out his soul.
Because that's where everybody's souls lie, within your fractured skull.
Yeah, I mean, that's where I keep mine.
Duh.
I feel like my soul kind of moves
Common
around my
knowledge.
body.
Well, I know it's not my stepfather, so I'm gonna say
Fun fact. Good to know.
what's the area look like where you fight him?
No, ooh,
Because it sounds really familiar.
hard pass. That's
Oh, no.
that's too much.
What game? Give me a game.
3. He murders everyone in 3.
Okay,
it's
so
all
you're
God of
so,
War 3.
Well, 3's all about the upper echelon of the pantheon. So.
And I think 3 they also got I think 3 was where they got the money.
Oh, absolutely.
And they were just like, time to be creative.
time to get super gory.
Oh, I almost said something. but-
Pre-fractured skulls.
Yeah. What do you think, Matt?
I'm gonna say Hades, one of the other big brothers.
I'm sorry, that's incorrect.
Oh,
Because it's correct, Matt. Great job. Man, God, I tried. Like, he did the Final Fantasy quiz, and I got like 1.
yeah, but at least I played.
And
the,
this
you
kid
never
got
played the Final Fantasy, so that's not fair.
5.5 out of 6. Ugh.
Yeah, but to be fair,
Once
that point,
again, I bow to you, Matt. I bow to your brain.
however,
You got a good brain.
The 0.5 feels like what you said earlier. It's like, do you want to try an easier mode?
Oh, don't. I triggered. Straight triggered
Trigger
right
warning.
off the bat because of it.
But do you feel like they put that in there just to get you in the mindset to play these games? Because you're playing an angry dude, so they want to make you angry.
I don't know. I mean,
I think it's a great
possibly.
mind game.
That's okay. Okay. I see you. I see what you're saying there. But I just, and okay, let's be honest. When I say I was angry, it was sadness. Because you're like, you're better than this. The game thinks you're a failure. And then my stepdad came in and looked at me and was like, you are a failure. And
Are
then he
you
walked
winning,
out.
son?
He's like, no, Dad. He's like, typical. And then he walked out.
Typical.
Typical. Ugh.
So good quiz.
This is
though.
why you can't have Ghostbusters on
Good,
VHS.
great quiz though.
Ghostbusters for VHS is for winners.
It's for winners, closers.
Thank you.
Yeah,
I think we should have more quizzes. I was a big fan of that.
yeah. We'll throw them around.
I'll
from
dance
time
them
to time.
around.
So back on track. What would you say your favorite motive
You're doing great.
moment out of all those games are? Out of all 4 of them, I know you're probably going to pick more out of 4.
Favorite moment?
Like battle, moment, scene, anything. If you had to pick one moment in those timelines,
The serpent.
really?
But like just everything.
I mean, don't get me wrong; it's a cool scene.
I mean, oh God, it's so hard for me to decide. Is it the reveal of who your son is? Is it?
spoiler territory.
I didn't say it though. I didn't say it.
Spoiler.
But I mean, the
you
game's
have
been out
son.
for a long time now.
So the son is actually from the first game, where you wake up in bed with 3 ladies of the church.
Yeah. Turns out your son is Thomas Hiddleston the entire time.
Oh my goodness!
Do you get it? Do you guys get my reference? Wink. I don't know. I my favorite moment. I know there are, when I replay God of War, there are moments that I'm more genuinely excited for, like when you go to Elfheim for the first time, and it's just this glorious,
Oh yeah, the
flowery,
beautiful forestry.
and you're like, hey, this place is really nice, and you just see a dark elf just murder the hell out of a light elf, and you're like, oh,
this is the pretty place. Oh no!
just like everything.
You know what that scene reminds me of? It
The
reminds me
game's
of,
so good, I can't think
Yeah.
of a perfect moment because my brain just goes like, the game, like the entire thing, Dan, you love it all.
What a very
Seriously.
biased brain.
Yeah, well,
But no, I was gonna say that scene reminds you of the Dark Elf scene when you see that, like that scene from
I know what it
American Lampoon, where he's like, where they first go to East St. Louis and like their car gets
roll them up, Danny.
yeah, roll them up, roll them up. We gotta go back.
Roll them. No, I can. It is in Alfheim.
Mhm.
It is where you reach into the light
Oh yes.
and you follow that whole thing, and it's like you're just chase the dragon.
Definitely not a drug reference.
Yeah. And then you come out and Atreus is just bloody and
Oh yeah.
disgusting. And you're just like, "Buh, what's your issue?" And the kid's like, I've been killing things for 4 days. And of course it's not 4 days, but just to see your kid who's been relatively innocent
Yeah.
and like teetering on like not murderous, but like trying
Mental
to be
breakdown. Yeah.
trying to be more like you, and the first snap that kid, your son, has, and you're like, oh, this kid is not going to have a good rest of this game. Oh, that moment just carried.
Right.
Oh, that was so beautiful.
And to be fair, though, I knew that kid was going to have a hard time the second he was with Kratos. I'm like, this guy's never had any
Did-
good luck. Did you meet his previous kids?
womp womp.
They're on his skin.
Oh, meet your
They've
brother.
been with there the whole time.
He just draws a little smiley face on his nipple because the skin's on. He's like, "This is Mikey. This is Taylor." Too far. There was a spoiler
Oh,
warning in the beginning. This is too much. Dark.
30-year spoiler war.
It hasn't been out for that long.
The first one, maybe. I don't know.
Matt,
No, it's probably like-
Matt. It didn't
it was
come
like
out when we were
2004, yeah.
6.
We were
Okay.
teenagers.
Okay. We
But
were 6.
I'd actually say for me, it would probably be the first introduction of Baldur. When
Really?
when he first shows up to the house and just starts just punching you and wrecking you.
Yeah.
What a blow. This random dude, you're like, oh, cool, who are you? Bam.
Yeah.
Just
That
go
fight
right
scene's
into it.
intense.
It was amazing.
It's intense.
Same with like the Magni and Modi fight. Like,
You love that fight.
It blew my mind. Well, the minute they started chanting,
Flicking loved that
I
fight,
loved
man.
it.
Odin. Yeah.
And then you're just like, whoa, what?
And then the 360 fight,
Oh, beautiful
like where
idea.
you had to keep strafing,
right,
like
and your guy's like back to back.
yeah.
And then like all you have to do is fling them around. I'm like, that's cool.
I mean, and so I actually got through the game. I bought it when it came out, so I did the best I could to stay away from spoilers and all that other stuff.
Oh, absolutely.
And so also when like you have the axe, I fell in love with the axe. The axe
Axe
was
was
everything
great.
I wanted. It was great. And then all of a sudden, you guys like, oh, you're gonna need something a little bit hotter to get through there. He's like, I'll be right back. And you're like, I'll be right back. And then he like takes the blades out, and you're like, get out of here.
of course he kept them.
Of course he kept him, but like they were completely removed from my brain
Yeah.
because the God of War 4 did such a great job of removing itself from 1, 2, 3.
Oh, yeah, they
it
did an
felt
amazing job
so
of that.
by itself that like I forgot. Like he's a different character, it's a different story, different gods, and like once that happens, you're like, oh man, like they are incorporating 1, 2, 3 in the
No, and like you
Beautiful.
said, they did do an amazing job of like making themselves something new. Because like I said, even with that opening fight scene with Baldur and all that, like every other game before that, you started out with like Kratos is on the aggression. Kratos has got a vendetta to fulfill. No matter what's going on in the first 3 games, he's always the aggressor. And then this time they flip the switch on you, make you forget entirely what's going on. You're like, hold up, Kratos is losing right out the gate? Like, that is something you hardly ever see in those games. Because the whole time you're winning. Especially in 1, 2, and 3.
And then I want you to talk about 1, 2, and 3 a lot because all I can really talk about is Brock and Sindri. Brock and Sindri as 2 characters are just I can't like again. This game to me is as close
It's the apex of it.
and I'm a Mass Effect kid, and I'll like, but this game puts Mass Effect 2 on watch for
It really
greatest
does.
for greatest game I've ever played.
Honestly,
like I can't.
yeah.
Those are my children. I don't want to pick between them, but
Honestly, God of War 4 is above it.
like God of War and
It's just
Mass
too
Effect
good.
2 are just too intertwined in my heart. But Brock and Sindri, their relationship, like just everything about
Yeah, that was a really
even
good part.
Sindri, like just had his disgust of germs and all that other.
Mhm.
Love it.
Oh yeah, they
this
really
game.
fleshed out the characters
Oh, I'm
very
in love
well.
with this game.
And
Even Freya. Freya's great.
Freya had great motivation, did
Mhm.
great things, like possessed a giant monster at the end. Like great,
Like everything.
absolutely great. You felt for her because her kid was cursed. Like beautiful.
Oh yeah. Yep.
Beautiful. And even going back to the first 3 games, they even did beautiful stuff like that all the time.
Mhm.
I mean, look at the Hercules fight. Like, I'm going to fight for my daddy. And you're like,
daddy.
oh, wait, we're kind of brothers. So half daddy said, I got to kill you. And like I said, the way they,
Peacemaker spoiler, by
Right.
the way.
but the way they pay attention to Greek lore, which we both love, like, is just so great. And yeah, they tweaked it here and there. Yeah, you know, Kronos isn't in the desert with Pandora's tower chained to his
Yeah,
back.
but everything they changed felt all right.
It felt all right.
It didn't
yeah.
feel foreign. It didn't feel
Right.
invasive into the story.
Even the stuff with Pandora, I'm like, you know what? You did it in a pretty tastefully good way. Like, it was just fun.
I remember watching you play the ending of 3, where it's basically
Oh, man, the
Athena
ending of
going like,
3.
"Great, you killed everything."
Honestly, that I remember getting to that ending in 3 at the very end. Another 15 to 20 year spoiler. Turn off now.
Yeah, it's too late now.
It's too late. Well, but
If you click subscribe, you'll forget everything we've said.
every time you like us on Instagram and follow us, you get all the info. No, but that ending for 3, fantastic. It was just such a great little way to reset the franchise and a great way to just say, yep, good job, dummy. I told you to stop. and you still just destroyed everything because you're too blinded by rage.
Do you think after like the third game he would just be tired? Like
Well, that's
God
kinda how it
of like,
felt.
yeah.
In the fourth, I mean, that's what I loved about it. Like the beginning of 4 is kind of like, yeah, he's kind of dead in his eyes.
Oh
Like,
yeah, exhausted.
whatever.
Exhausted.
boy, go
But
fetch the
don't
water.
you wish? And like maybe I want to see it, but maybe I don't. I'm not sure.
Oh.
But like,
Oh, are we getting to the fixation?
no. Well, maybe. Oh, maybe we'll.
Fixating
Yeah,
thought.
I mean, we're kind of close to a break. We have a little bit more time, but we'll jump on that at the second half. We'll jump on that at the second half.
All right, well, we'll hold those for later.
Hold those. But like, I would have liked to have seen. Oh, I'll go on it. Like him falling in love.
Really?
Yeah, I mean,
Well, first of all, Dan, after his wife got destroyed, I don't think he'd ever find love again.
but he did, Matthew. He did.
No,
With
he did, yeah.
Yeah, with the giant. I mean, the whole plot
Yeah.
of God of War 4 is he loved this woman so much.
Right.
What is he willing to do and take on this quest with?
I mean, we already knew he was a loyal man from the first game.
No, yeah. Can't help it.
Not many guys are going to go fight a god and get revenge for him.
I would. That's just who I am as a person.
Speaking
Gods
of
be
that,
damned.
though, I don't know if you recall, but in the first game, there's a point where like Ares is kind of messing with you
No.
toward the end of it.
No.
Again.
Again.
And there's a part where your family's like in a church and you have to fight off like minions while
Don't you hug
hugging.
him?
Yeah, you got to
Big
hug
hugging.
your family. I always thought that was
The big old hug
I thought
and
that
kill.
was genius.
Really?
Oh, I loved it. I'm like, what a weird thing to just put in the middle of a chaotic, gruesome game.
Yeah.
And I remember our friend from back in the day, Zach.
Mhm.
I was watching him play it. I was excited for him to get to that part because I know he's very
Shout out to Zach Nofke.
shout out to Zach Nagi. But I know he's very anti like touchy feely.
He's not a big hugging person.
Not a big hugging
Not a big
person.
hugger.
And when he got to that point, I kid you not, he put the controller down, he pulled out a cigarette, and he's like, "I'm not doing that." He just started laughing. I'm like, "What do you mean? You're gonna lose?" He's like, "I don't care. I don't care. I'm not gonna hug."
You
these
gotta
people."
have morals, and the man doesn't hug.
He's like, "I did not play this game to hug people," and he got. I've never seen anybody get so mad about hugging somebody.
That is, and I know no one knows this person, but like, if you ever run across a person named Zach Nofke and you know him, that is the 100% most Zach Nofke thing that I think we
Right.
can ever say about him. Cigarette in mouth, going like, I ain't hugging no
I ain't
one.
hugging.
I ain't hugging him. That's great. All right, well, it looks like we are knocking on the door for a break. All right, kids, we will see you back after that break.
Oh,
Kratos,
Kratos,
Kratos, but daddy.
Jake, have you ever been looking for a definitive Nintendo ranking and can't seem to find it because it's just everybody's own opinion?
Honestly, all the time, Sam.
Well, I'm looking for someone to give us the answers.
Wait, you mean like a podcast made by two young, handsome men where they create a definitive top 5 list of all things Nintendo?
Should we just do it ourselves?
Yeah, that sounds fantastic.
Let's give it a shot. I'm Sam,
And I'm Jake.
and at Top 5 Nintendo, I'm going to give you my top 5 list,
And I'm gonna give you my top 5 list.
and then we're going to duke it out and see what the real top 5 is.
So Matthew,
yes.
do we have a sponsor of the week?
Why, Dan, yes, we do. Speaking of hugging your family, if you are having family problems, please see the Olympus Family Care Center. Hug the ones you're with.
Aw, love it.
Hi, I'm Ryan,
And I'm Mike.
and we are brothers-in-law. We both love beer and are amateur home brewers.
Wait, so does that make us brothers-in-law?
I believe so,
Every episode, we will talk about aspects of beer and home brewing.
but nothing super technical because we're learning this too.
So join us as we sit down together and dive into something beer-related.
Whether it's a little field research, tasting a certain beer style, or beers from a specific brewery,
Talk about our experiences brewing beer at home, including our own solo brews, as well as themed competitions we'll set up along the way.
we will also talk about some of our favorite aspects of brewing like hops, extra ingredients, building our brew cave, and more. And of course, our own misadventures that have happened along the way.
So, if you like beer, are home brewing already,
Or if you have an interest in home brewing and don't know where to start,
join us on Brothers-in-Law Podcast on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Google, YouTube, or wherever you listen to podcasts.
and make sure to follow us on Twitter at Brothers-in-Law and check out our website, brothersinlaw.com.
Cheers.
Cheers.
back.
And we're back. Hello,
And
everyone.
back.
Welcome back to part 2
Such
of
a long
our
break. I feel like we took time. We took a hike.
It's almost like we went and ate dinner and then came back and
maybe
finished this
you
up.
did. I actually went to Greece itself and came back.
Well, you're very fast because it wasn't that long.
Well, I took this dude's boots and I just chopped his legs off.
One at a time.
One
It's
at a
very
time,
important that
mind
you
you.
don't cut both legs
Right,
off.
right.
You gotta let them know what's happening to
Well,
them.
as you know, Barry Allen gets his speech.
Stop it. We've talked about this. This is not the DC episode, man. I don't have time, but we'll table it.
Right.
All right. So this is the part of fan fiction where we have a little bit of discussion on if we were in charge of God of War 5, but we could also kind of call it God of War 2.
I mean, with the way the franchise goes, there's a lot of in-between games. So you could even do like an in-between 3 and 4. You could do like a 4.
I mean, they
2,
did
5.
that, right? The PSP had its own game.
That
Like,
one's kind of all over the place. They really, the PSP ones and all those kind of did more in between 2 and 3, a little after 3.
Mhm.
And then but they were all just kind of not really a lot heavy on the story.
yeah, just filler. Like it's basically they knew they could make some money off the
It's
franchise.
extra content.
Yeah,
you know.
it's fine.
I mean, they were still great. They were just
It's basically what we would put in like regular DLC now,
right.
but it was before DLC was that prevalent, so they just
It's for
like
people who really loved the game. They're
Sure.
like, hey, here's a little extra tidbits.
and had PSPs. I never did.
But that is my segue because that's where I would go.
Okay.
Because you say, wait, actually, where do you say we should go? Let's start with you. Actually,
I don't know. So if we're going on, if we're continuing the story right now,
Yeah.
now there is 2 is coming out. So this is all like
the sequel to
speculation.
Ragnarok,
Yeah. This is because they're not making a third. From what I remember, Santa Monica Studios flat out said, like, look, we spend so much time on these games, like we're gonna make a second one and that's it, because it's
Okay.
like a 5 to 10 year investment,
That
and
it
they
is.
want to do other things. They have other ideas. They have other
You know, I can kind
projects.
of respect that. 'Cause
Oh, yeah.
I feel like the days of trilogy should be pretty much over anyway.
Yeah.
I mean, how long did it take us to get Diablo 3? How long did it take to get Kingdom Hearts 3?
hey, Diablo 4 is not that far away.
Oh my goodness.
Stop
You have
it.
phones, don't you?
Oh, stop it. Yeah, that will forever live in infamy of like
Yeah,
the
it's
worst
gonna
line
live in
said.
infamy. What is
As
what a
in,
dumb
you guys
thing.
have phones, don't you?
Here's the pulse. Here's Blizzard Entertainment. But I digress.
We digress.
We digress.
So what do you want to see?
So-
Before we start really pitching
Actually-
anything, what do you want to see?
Well,
Let's create this together.
Let's start with this. Where are you going to put your game?
I think we got to. Ooh,
I'm going to put mine in between 2 and 3.
oh, so
I want to go back.
You're going backwards.
Yeah, I'm assuming you want to go in between 3 and 4 or a little after 4.
No, I want to continue Atreyu. I want to
Yeah,
continue this.
I
I want to.
figured
I
you-
want to
yeah.
say God of War, and again, I guess we'll call it 4, just because there's 2 God of Wars.
4.0.
I
2.
want to create a game
Yeah.
that's God of War 5,
Okay.
which is already coming out.
I
It's
thought you were
called
going to do
God of War
the Kingdom
Ragnarok.
Hearts thing where it's like God of War 4.
365 over 2.
365 over 2 times pi.
We've talked about, and I know we're going a lot of off topic, but we've talked about doing a Kingdom Hearts episode,
Oh, it's going to happen.
but I don't think we have enough time to research all of the
we
craziness.
sure do, folks. And you know what? It's just going to
Oh
be
my
a flow
gosh.
chart, and we're going to have to do a visual aid and everything. And
We're
gonna have
gonna.
diagrams. It's going to have string theory.
I remember buying Kingdom Hearts 3 and popping it in and going like, clearly there's going to be a previously on Kingdom Hearts. And it just gave me a 20-minute long music video with people in robes laughing at me because I had no idea what was happening. It's like, and now Pixar. And that was it. And now you're a toy.
Welcome.
It was a fun game, but
Yeah.
I don't think
Whereas God of War just kind of goes, hey, we're back, and he's still angry.
he's still, yeah.
You didn't miss anything.
Previously on, I missed my meds.
Previously on, the guy got out of the psych ward too early.
All right, no, let's talk about it.
Yeah.
Um,
Let's start with you. Pitch me that new 5th game.
So if I had to, it's we're gonna have to kill Kratos. I mean,
no, Dan.
I think that's got to be the big thing. It's got to be the end of the god, because
Okay.
honestly, if they're respecting the mythology, like Loki as we know him, never talks about the dad who raised him. If this character grows into the Loki, he's essentially going to have to grow up as Thor's brother, hate Thor, hate the gods, which I think if he sees them kill his father that he respects and loves at the end of God of War 4, I think it's a brilliant way to set up why Loki has such a disdain for everyone outside of the, I'm a frost giant and I just hate it because that's genetically what I'm supposed to do. So I think if you end this game, I think you got to end this one with Odin killing Kratos.
Okay.
And I know I'm jumping all the way to the end, and it's just where my brain goes.
Who is this Odin?
But Odin kills. You know what? But I guess we're all over the place because Baldur's dead.
Oh yeah, they are taking Norse mythology and what little
And we're having our own
humanity knows
story
about
with it.
And they are definitely
We're
having
having
a
our
good
own story
time
with. I mean,
They're
but
doing a great job though with it.
you know what? I need to release my mind from thinking that this needs to flow into Norse mythology, and then Norse mythology is going to be safe because Kratos just destroyed all of Greek mythology.
I mean, he essentially he hit the Control-Alt-Delete button.
So,
on
I mean,
Greek.
In that case, let me rewind everything.
don't get me wrong. You could keep going the way you were going. I mean, you could theoretically do both.
I don't know, but that would be the discussion. That would be what we're looking
Because the full
for.
circle thing makes a lot of sense with Loki's
Because then
story arc.
also there is that small little tidbit in I think somebody's secret vault that you get to. It's the god that everyone loved. Oh, I can't. It wasn't Baldur. It's some god that is constantly talked about very highly of.
Right.
But
Tyr probably.
Oh yeah, Tyr's vault.
Yeah.
Thank you. So smart.
I know Norse too.
But he visited other. I think they call them realms. Or, not realms, but like
he jumped on that rainbow bridge.
like
Went to other.
You saw
worlds.
him like go to Egyptian mythology. Like
Correct, yeah.
you saw like the symbol of Ra there for a little bit. So like, my God, like every god is open and available.
Yeah, everything's open.
So like, well, do you want to explore that? Like,
I think in some aspect they should to a certain degree.
But I think we need a conclusion of Norse mythology though.
Oh yeah.
Like we can't just, the game can't, I don't want the halfway point necessarily of being like, and then I kill Odin and then I just go crazy, because Kratos at this point wants to be left alone. 1, 2, and 3 are about vengeance, murder,
Right.
death. This one is like, if you just let me have my own cabin, I'll stay in my
He's
own
trying
cabin.
to Thanos it.
Yeah, exactly. At the end, just wants to just,
wanna
start
farm.
farming,
Yeah.
and just make a scarecrow of myself really weirdly.
Oh yeah.
I don't
Guess he
know.
did do that.
Okay. Pitch it.
But are
pitch it,
crows scared of Thanos' armor?
Everyone is. Pitch it.
Pitch it.
I gotta get here. You spatter something out for a couple of seconds. Let me
You're
collect my
gonna
thoughts.
Marinate a little.
I'm gonna marinate.
I'm gonna go completely different. I'm gonna say I would love to see, which we don't really get to see a lot of. We get a little tiny sliver of it in the beginning of 3. I would love to see Kratos as the actual god of war a little bit longer than just a couple cutscenes and like leading a little troop of people into what was that, Athens or whatever.
Sure.
In the beginning of 3. I think it was Athens. I could be wrong.
Could be Sparta too.
Could be I can't remember that city exactly. Oh no, it was Rhodes because the Colossus of Rhodes is there.
Oh, you're right.
Duh.
Absolutely.
But that giant colossus it's named after. But no, anyway, at the end of 2 or whatever, you see him take the place of Ares, and he's
Okay.
like sitting up on Olympus, and he's like, "Well,
Wait,
I'm
at the
god."
end of 1, doesn't he take the place of
Oh
Ares?
yeah, sorry, the end of 1 he does.
Okay.
Maybe I'm thinking in between 1 and 2.
Because at
Yeah,
the
I'm sorry.
end
I'm
of
thinking
1, he
in
kills
between 1 and
Ares,
2.
and it's at the end of 1. You have
That's
to imagine
right.
it's a
I'm
standalone
thinking the
game, and he
beginning
goes,
of 2.
"I am now the god of war."
That's right. And yeah, I'm sorry. Back up. We're gonna go in between 1 and 2.
Got it.
And yeah, you lead that little army, and then you fight the Colossus, and then Zeus goes, "Give me back the stuff."
Yeah. So
Well,
then,
I would like to see before that happens. I would love to see him take Ares' place for real, because we've seen Ares like turn into a giant. We've seen him do other stuff. Let me see him do God stuff. I want to see something like a Dynasty Warrior style, which I love those games. Those giant,
Okay.
like go in and just fight hordes of enemies as Kratos.
I
and
love how
company.
every time we're like, Matt, pitch a game, and you're like, okay, have you guys played Dynasty Warriors?
So
Like,
anyway,
every single franchise, Matt's like, what if we played it? But it's like Dynasty Warriors.
just put him out of the battlefield. Just throw thousands of bodies at
It'd be fun. I mean, you
I
have
think
enough
it'd be
characters.
fun.
You have more than enough characters with all the
absolutely.
gods and everything. You could easily do that.
And you could do like team ups with like Athena and stuff. Like you could call on other people to help you, like other demigods, like Hercules and stuff. I think
and
it'd
if
be
all
cool.
else fails, you just hug them.
just hug it.
just
Well,
give 'em
that's
a
the
big
final
old hug.
boss. You're supposed to hug him. That's how you get the good ending. But if you attack him, well, that's bad ending. But no, I mean, you could even like fighting aside, you could even show like, hey, you got to make decisions, like in Fable, like the Fable series.
Okay.
Like, are you going to attack this town and save this town, but this town stops? Like, you got to control where the wars are going on. You are the god of war for the entire planet, not just Greece.
So what if you do something like that, but it's more like a RTS?
Yeah, even
where
that.
it's kind of like
You could branch out in multiple directions.
yeah, you're the god of war, and your job is to just create
manage war.
as much discord throughout.
Yeah.
Kind of like Civilization.
Yeah, I
only
was gonna
just-
say that route,
instead
too.
of like peace, it's just like mess it all up, just really burn it down.
And then on top of that, you could have other gods start intervening and go, whoa, whoa, whoa. No, this is my place.
You're like,
What are you doing?
I decide to
Go
attack
attack-
the ocean. Like,
Right. Or maybe like the other gods come up to you and you have to make treaties and other things. Like make it really more like a
but
burden
how-
for Kratos.
And I'm 100% down for this. But how do we keep the essence of the God of War games, not style, because the style is going to be a little different,
Right.
but like the essence of everything we've loved about God of War? How do we keep that in there?
Well, like I was saying, you'd have to still incorporate those big battles.
Okay.
And with those big battles, you could have like a big bad enemy at the end of them, like a Cyclops or something. For
So
certain
you want
areas.
Civ meets Dynasty
Or-
Warriors.
True. Actually, yes, that is actually more what I'm talking about. Or this just came up to me. We could theoretically, like, say you had to go invade Egypt. That's when the Egyptian gods get involved.
Okay.
Like maybe other pantheons start going, hold
okay.
up, we got our own god of war, and that's where the big bosses come in and the big cinematic fights or things like
Well,
that.
and that's what the universe has kind of said. Like there
And,
are
yeah,
gods,
and
but
we
they're
touched
just
upon
gods
it in
of their
Ragnarok,
own
yeah.
region. You can leave this area and find a whole nother set of
Right.
gods. Very much
And maybe
like
that could be the
American
like a
gods
little
from
wink
Neil
to
Gaiman.
3 and 4.
Okay. So each region,
Well, Neil Gaiman gods would be easy. You just don't believe in them.
yeah, just like
La 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 la, you're not here.
Stephen King's It. Like we don't like you. We're not scared of you.
Exactly.
He's like, well, then I'm powerless. You guys got me.
Could you imagine like Kratos mid battle with like Ra or something, and it's or Horus, and he's like, "Quickly, what do I do? Athena, help!" And she's all like, "Just don't believe or be
Don't
scared in
believe.
him.
Don't believe.
Don't believe."
My powers, they're dwindling by the second.
I'm so angry. I don't believe this.
I would.
I think it'd be a very interesting take to actually have to like play as a god
Wait,
and
ready?
actually.
Matt, that sounds like a great mobile game. Gotcha.
Oh,
Right,
jeez, I think
got
I
it.
just.
Got it.
Oh, I just threw up a little bit when you said
And
that.
I think that would really fit the 1, 2, 3 style.
Oh, absolutely.
But I think the franchise itself has evolved.
Yeah, but I think people are still missing out on like that old school kind of just.
You're missing out on Dynasty Warriors.
Well,
Like,
not only that, but I'm just saying for some of the older people like myself who started back when we were younger,
Matt, I'm
like
3 months younger than you.
I know,
Like, I think right now.
but that's what they kind of do with all their other games is they kind of go in between and backwards.
Yeah.
They do a lot of prequel stuff or in between stuff, so why not do it again?
Yeah, and I would play that game without a doubt.
And like I said, like you said before, or like we both said, it touches upon them talking about Egypt. You could talk about other things.
Mm-hmm.
Like it really nods to that. And you can even end it with like him losing to the Norse pantheon. And like that's where you kind of get a little glimpse of actually what happened to him.
Now, do you only play as Kratos in this, or are you trying to open it up like Civilization, where if you want to play the Egyptians, you can start there and work your way in?
I think for the story base side of it, you should probably just keep it to Kratos. However, if you like, there definitely should be like a campaign mode where you can play as the other.
It's got to be
ones.
called like God of War Dominion or
Right.
something like that,
There
where
you
it's
go.
like it's
Perfect.
just it's you just like bringing your like war tendencies as far out into the map as
Right.
possible.
My other idea I had that I was stewing in my mind, just make it a fighting game. You have so many characters.
I mean, it's already a fight. The whole thing's a
but
fighting
like
game
I'm talking
already.
like Street Fighter style.
Oh, okay.
Like fighter. Make it a fighting game. Look how many characters you have.
Yeah, but Kratos has beaten them all. Like,
Yeah, but Baldur beat him.
okay, Baldur didn't beat him,
Well, he beat him up pretty bad.
but he didn't beat him.
Well,
Like, I want to make it very clear: at the end of the game, one person gets to be in the sequel, and it's not Baldur.
I know, but still, actually, Zeus killed him.
Zeus killed too.
Kratos.
Yeah, okay.
In the second game in the beginning.
Okay.
He got sent to Hades,
Okay.
and then he came back
I always, and I know this is
because nobody really stays dead in Greek.
a video game trope, but I always love it where it's going into a sequel where it's like you end the game super powerful, and
Oh,
somehow
yeah.
they have to nerf the ever living hell out of you in the first part of the game, so that way you can like reacquire all of your things.
But I at least appreciate they take the time to explain it because
Yeah.
otherwise you're like that doesn't make any sense.
One of the most egregious like kind of moments is I've just started playing Horizon Forbidden West.
Horizon Westward Gate expansion.
Oh man, Horizon, the whole series is fantastic. It's great. You should play it. I love it. It's almost too big at times, but that's because I have ADD at times. But like, so you end the game and you have this amazing bow and you have amazing staff and amazing armor and you're great. And then you start the game and you're like base level 0 and a character comes up to you and goes, hey, where's all your stuff? And Aloy, your character, is like, oh, on my adventures, I've lost a lot of it.
What?
And that is
That's it?
all of the explanation that they give you about why you're nerfed back to 0. And you're like, okay, moving on. And
that's so
yeah,
lackluster.
it's something so thrown away. Like, oh yeah, I guess my armor didn't.
Because at least with God of War, Zeus like literally stabs you in the stomach.
Oh yeah,
and
you're
goes,
murdered.
Suck it up, son.
Bye.
Oh yeah.
No, but okay. If I had to repitch.
Yeah, back to
Man.
yours, since I gave 2 great ones.
Okay, so ever since Odin's after you,
Mhm.
All Father, he's more powerful than Kratos. I think we got to officially give. He's kind of like
I would think so. He also has animal companions.
yeah, and he also has the loyalty of everyone. Now that Baldur's
Mhm.
dead, Modi's dead.
Baldur who?
Magni and Modi are dead.
Magni and Modi.
So you have all of Valhalla coming after you. Freya's
he also
Freya's
has,
after you.
He also has warriors up there too.
Yeah. So you have all of Valhalla coming at you right
The
now.
Valkyries, the
And
warriors.
to
yeah.
protect your son, this is the reason why you go to Tyr's temple and find the portal to another realm, because you have to actually ask other gods for help.
Oh, that'd be neat.
Because it's all about protecting your son, and they're coming after you to cut your throat, cut his
Yeah,
throat.
hopefully they have vendettas too.
Yeah. And so I would pitch the game where they steal Atreus, and
Oh.
like, you don't have
Don't
the
sue
power.
us, never-ending story.
You don't have the power yourself to go get him. So you use the head on your belt,
Oh
and,
yeah, Mimir.
and Brock
Mimir.
and Sindri. You make the gate to, and I'm gonna say Egyptian because I think out of all the other gods, well, Hindu gods would be fun, but Egyptian,
Yeah, Hindu would be fun.
I think Egyptian would be.
Egyptian's pretty awesome. Yeah,
It
you
would
could
be
do
a fun jump to go
especially
over.
with all the animal
Like,
heads. and-
Ask
yeah.
for a loyalty, like you give yourself, over to them and whatever they want and all that other stuff to jump over and help.
Right.
And so Ragnarok is the destruction of the Norse mythology by they're taking over of
Egyptians,
the
yeah.
Egyptians. And then you have to kill them too, because you're not going to give your soul over. Or halfway through the game, you get to play as Atreus killing the Egyptians to free your dad, and it just ends the same way God of War 3 does, with you
kinda
two
like the pact
just going on
is
your own
you
thing.
have to give your soul to
Yeah.
Ra and all them.
And then Atreus is like, well, you've killed gods before, why can't I? Blah blah blah. I think that's what I would try and do.
that's neat.
Bring
the
in-
only thing I would change about yours
Sure.
is the Egyptians are actually the Stargate version.
Okay.
They have the cool
Okay.
helmets and they open a Stargate to get to.
As long as I can get Kurt Russell and James Spader in this anywhere, I'm happy. Like, just if I can get those two, just to even do a voice of something, I'm tickled pink.
Because I don't think Thoth with that giant kiwi head's going to help out too much. Or I'm sorry, it was like an ibis.
I don't know.
Ibis head.
Egyptians got some cool gods.
They do. They have a lot of cool gods.
You can bring quite a few of them in.
Oh yeah, like I said, you got Thoth. Of course, you got Anubis. Yeah.
And not only that, that brings in another whole range of cool weapons.
Oh, absolutely.
Like Egyptian weapons are,
Khopesh swords.
Yeah, I mean,
you got all
so-
sorts of cool stuff.
and like all you get is just find one and you can deck it out, and of course, I think you always are going to have to use the Blades of Chaos. Well, what if they break?
you could, yeah, I think you
Like,
could,
I think if you
as long as
officially,
you had a good reason to get rid of them,
Yeah.
I think that'd be fine.
but what if like so what if you start the game and it's just Odin right off the bat, like right off the bat, and he takes your axe and breaks it.
So kind of like what Zeus did in the second one right away.
I mean, it could be a throwback, like, but like it has to
No, I
happen.
know.
You have to nerf him down. You have to find a way to start a character.
Do you have to though? Maybe
Yeah.
you keep it and you just keep adding. What if he
Okay.
just shows up with nothing, like a whole backpack full of stuff?
Yeah, just like every single like.
Let's flip it. Let's do something different. You get everything. You just keep accumulating stuff. He goes back, he grabs like Magni and Modi's shield and like God. He's like, I need more weapons of choice.
Or you find out that like he goes back to his hut and he opens up another latch and it's like the head with the from the light, and like turns out he's kept every single thing that he's had. Medusa's
man.
head's in there.
I would only be cool with that if that one lady
Like Atreus
Read her
is
voice
like,
line.
this has been under our house the entire time.
It seems like
You
a
have
lot
an
of stuff.
entire armory under here. When did you even have time to put all this stuff? I lived in this house.
We have a lot of storage.
Boy, my
The attic
hero.
was always off limits for a reason.
It's called a crawl space, boy.
No, but as long as that one voice actress who did like that one Titan's voice was doing it, like Kratos, use the wrath of the Titans.
Who would you? Okay, side
I
note.
can't think of her name.
Who would you have voice the Egyptian gods?
Gilbert Godfrey.
Thank God, he needs the work.
Only if he gets to play the head one.
Yeah. I would Saeed from Lost, I think, would be brilliant.
Oh, that'd be
I
a good
love
one.
him. I just heard him on an interview not too long ago, and like I was just mesmerized, not memorized.
I would love to hear Danny Elfman do one.
Danny Elfman, the composer.
The composer who also did the voice of Jack Skellington.
I don't want to talk about Nightmare Before Christmas, Matt.
He just over enunciates everything, and I love it.
I don't want to talk about Nightmare Before Christmas, Matt.
Scary, spooky,
dun, 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 dun.
Dan, I think you just touched upon another game you could have created too. It's just Kratos' crawl space, and it's
Kratos is
just make it like Dig Dug.
Kratos'
Just go-
call space sounds like a children's show from the 1980s.
Make it like a crappy 8-bit
Kratos'
game.
crawl space. What are we playing with? Blades and fire.
So Kratos, what do you got in crawl space today?
Pain. Memories of loss.
Dead fathers,
Grief. Grief and heads.
broken promises. Oof. Do you want to see my fish costume?
Do you want to talk about my skin again? No,
Oh,
Kratos. No.
Actually, I would love to see a game based on one of his skins, like maybe a lawyer suit where he has the briefcases.
Oh yeah, that's in the basement
it's
too.
play it like Phoenix Wright
Dad,
almost.
what are these suitcases? Never mind, boy.
That was from a darker time.
That was an unlockable thing.
I had a lot of lawsuits against me.
But
I took up law. You can't fight the law without the power of
accountant of war.
Kratos, use the rage of the jury.
All right. No, back at it.
Reel it in.
Reel it in. But I know. I think that would be really, really fun.
No, I agree. I
But
think
I would
having
play
to
yours too.
having to recruit a whole nother pantheon to fight another one,
Well,
that just sounds like a big,
and
bad, cool movie.
And I really want to talk about the character of Kratos. And like, so we talked about how the first three were just rage. His character didn't really
It
do
felt like
much.
he was in his college years and he was partying all the
Yeah.
time. And
But-
then like, yeah, he grew up in Ragnarok.
Yeah. But like, and now that he has the sun, like his world revolves around the sun. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so,
Much like the Mayans.
and so, goddamn. And so just to see him have to like beg a different god for help,
Right.
which is the last thing he wants. He hates all gods, wants to be left alone, and now having to like not only seek out new gods. I don't know. I think that would be an amazing kind of.
Oh, absolutely.
And then I still think he has to die at the end. This has to be the last one for Kratos. This has
I
to be.
tell
the
you
end
what,
of his
I'll
arc.
only allow this if we get the Aztec gods in there too, like Quetzalcoatl and stuff, like the flying snake, winged snake. Hey, Kratos! And give him
what
like a goofy voice.
What
I
if he
would
does
love it.
like a whole Justice League of gods in the end? Like he
Oh,
just
that'd be so
turns
cool.
out he gets all the gods because Odin is that powerful.
Well,
What-
yeah, he's
what
got a
if-
whole army.
What if all the other gods like are like, no, we're not going against Odin?
Ooh, that'd be interesting.
You know what I mean? Like he goes to Anubis and is like, hey, like come with me, we'll take out Odin, and like everyone's like, oh no.
Set Anubis.
Yeah. And so then like it's like one of those quest missions where you do this for me and then I'll say yes, and then you know you have to go do this, and then turns out you have to get this, but only this guy has that, so you have to go talk to him, and he's like, oh, go do this. Just quest after quest after quest. You know?
Go fetch 10 herbs and
Yeah,
bring them back to me.
Exactly. Go kill 10 spider webs and
Oh no, actually I think I would hate that.
yeah. Well, I don't want that, but just it would have to be more linear. But like,
Kill 10 gods and return him.
I don't know.
It seems a bit extreme.
I think it'd be because I mean the last game has to be Kratos'.
It's got to be
finale.
something big, yeah.
It's got to be.
I mean, every time they do a game like this, it's huge, so it's got to be some big finale.
I have to cry. If I don't cry at the end of this, you failed.
Ooh, you were putting a lot of expectation on that.
Well, and I'm also an easy cry. So
How about
it's
just
really
a
not that much.
jaw-dropping moment like in the third one where you just go, wait, what? Everything just stops existing?
Yeah, but you can't do that again.
No, I'm just saying,
can't-
but
you
like
can't,
just
like,
a jaw-dropper.
This one, like,
so it has to be tears, not just...
It has to continue. Like, you can't just say, like, and then he killed all the gods. Da 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 da. Wow, you know, it has to be a continuation because Ragnarok, and like, if you're gonna introduce your son as Loki, if you're gonna say that Loki is instrumental in taking down,
Right.
he's the key of it all.
And so is his son Fenrir.
So, like, well, I don't think Fenrir. I don't think we're gonna get.
It
Like,
has to swallow the sun
Yeah.
so that Ragnarok could start, Dan,
But I
by
just-
the death of Balder and Tyr.
I think it needs to end with somehow like Atreus killing Kratos somehow, like not like a murderous vengeance, but like a mercy killing or something like that. I just think that's the emotional issue. It needs to end with them.
Why don't we get
It
a Disney
needs-
ending?
What?
Why don't we just do a Disney ending?
There's
where-
no way Disney needs to
Yeah,
be
like he
introduced in this
goes,
whatsoever.
I resign my powers after
No.
murdering everybody, and the ashes fall off his body.
No.
You like see his family up in the cloud, like Lion King, like his wife and daughter. Like,
No.
you did great, Kratos. We love you. Bye.
Bye.
He's like, there's one little big man tear going
And
down.
he just like, I love you, boy.
and daughter that I lost in the first.
Yeah. No one talks about
No,
it.
I'm talking about my dead daughter.
All right, we can have George R. R. Martin write, and turns out the daughter never died, and then Atreus falls in love with the daughter, and then I mean,
Okay, Dan, did you ever play the Simpsons game?
which one?
The one where it was more like an RPG and had multiple stuff.
Hit and Run?
No, not Hit and Run. It was, I can't remember the other
The
one.
Simpsons game?
It might have just been the Simpsons game.
Yeah, I played it.
Did you ever get to the end of it? Spoilers for the Simpsons game.
Where you challenge God to DDR?
Yes.
Yeah.
Why don't we do something like that where George R. R. Martin or whoever the writer is ends up being the god? We'll just say George R. R. Martin for the sake of comedy. So
For the sake of comedy, we're moving on.
So they bring him in, and he kills everybody, and he finally gets, here's the last room in Odin's palace. This is it. This is where everything ends. And it's just George R. R. Martin back there in his regular attire, suspenders, his little cabbie hat. And then everybody died. And he turns and goes, oh. And he just like goes up and he's like, write me an ending.
Or like, or
Make it happy.
we've evolved to what the God is in this world,
Yes.
and Kratos finds out that he is a video game. So
Oh, you
his
wanna break some fourth
actual,
walls,
so
yeah.
his actual God is the writers and like animators of the game. So he somehow magically finds a way to like transport himself into the real world and kills everyone in Santa Monica
And
Studios.
that's when he gets the lawyer outfit.
And
the
that's when he gets the
briefcases.
lawyer outfit because it ends like Seinfeld with him in prison.
Oh, yes. And he's got to defend
because
himself.
magic isn't real in this world. So he's just throwing these blades and they're just going like 4 feet and then falling. He's like, these blades are heavy because they're no longer magic.
Or, wrapped around him magically, either like soldered to his skin.
And he gets like one cut and he's like, ow!
oh, that's what I did to people? Is this
gets-
what I do?
Or like he gets one cut and like 3 weeks later it's deeply infected because he has no idea how infections work.
Oh, jeez. I don't know before. I just drank the red orbs and I got better.
I just need the red orbs. He's like in a hospital bed screaming for red orbs.
I can gain more health if I get red orbs.
He's breaking into museums and opening like ancient chests, like
What's the
hoping that
green
there's something
one of the
in there.
orbs. I can't remember. Maybe the red was currency.
All right,
I don't
that's
know.
that's how our game ends. He decides that the actual gods are the creators of the video game. I like it. I dig it.
Oh, you're here.
All right, Matthew.
Oh, goodness.
It looks like we've wrapped up.
No, we're done.
I know. The kids got to go to bed.
But there's so many other games about
I know,
Kratos.
and we'll be back
And
at
most
the
of them take
same
place in the
time
same
next
place.
week for a whole nother hour of
whole
shenanigans.
Another one.
But
I'm not even gonna tell you what it's gonna be next week.
well, we don't really know. We kind of
We'll
make
tell them that. They don't
I mean,
know.
we know. It's all planned
It's all
out.
planned
everyone.
out.
It's all planned out. But do
Pay
we
no
have?
attention.
Do we have one more sponsor?
Why, Dan, I believe we do.
Okay.
It's for a fun new product called Kratos Brand Body Paint. It comes in 3 godly colors. Can you guess them, Dan?
Gray, ashy,
Ash gray,
ash gray,
Blood red.
Well,
You
there
got
it is. Yeah, that's a good one. And then throw it at me.
Turquoise.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
It's just a fun color to
Something
have.
normal, yeah.
You know, go to a football game,
Yeah.
put it on.
Because you know what? Not everything needs to be family.
Not
ash gray.
everything's got to be so dramatic.
Right. Like you knocked over an urn at a mortician's house or
Yeah.
something. You know?
Yeah, just turquoise.
Great for Diwali for all you celebrators out there.
Love it. All right, everyone. Thank you so much for listening for another week.
Thank you.
This has been Matt.
Oh wait. Yep, that's what they're saying over
Okay.
there. I am indeed Matt.
Yeah,
and that
and-
has been Dan.
Well, not until my lawyers can prove it, but until then,
Right.
sure.
He's still really hoping to get
Thank
that
you guys
name
for
changed.
hanging out with us. Please remember to subscribe on wherever you're listening to.
Yep, you can find us later on. We'll probably get the whole Instagram thing down.
We'll get it eventually.
We'll get here.
But we're both on Facebook.
Hopefully by
Matt
the next
McQueen, Dan
episode.
McCoy, Twitter, Instagram,
The Twitters,
Facebook,
the Instas, the Faces,
all that.
the bookies.
If it just find us on the internet.
Look,
we're
if you
all
see-
over it.
If you see a weird symbol, just touch it.
Just click it. Just click
Up,
everything
down,
until
whatever.
you find
Yeah,
us. Just click
Just
everything.
roll your face on that keyboard.
All right, friends. We will. Oh, and actually, I want to say this.
Oh.
We're episode 7. Hey, if you guys have any suggestions of what we should do,
Oh, yes.
please throw them at us.
'Cause-
Leave us little comments. Say what you like, don't like. Don't say what you don't like.
I mean, you can. I'm just.
we're just
going to
skip them over.
I mean, our feelings would hurt. I'm gonna have to listen to him cry. a little
We're
bit.
very sensitive. We're very sensitive.
especially him.
I know. I cry very easily. All right, friends. We will see y'all next week.
Yep.
Have a
Later.
wonderful night.
Night.
Good night.